आरम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we are studying a text called Jiva Yatra, and the word Jiva Yatra itself in the last class explained elaborately what it means. The fundamental desire for every person is to seek happiness, or one has to be contented, happy, satisfied, and always satisfied. So there is not a single person in this world, universe, who will say that I don't want to be in that category. Correct? And the person who is actually making the statement, the person who is enjoying that, he is a jiva. Because the person who is actually going through that is the jiva, or I told you last in the setup, or the body mind sense complex, which is the person or that particular entity which is there, is the one which is seeking this happiness. Ishvara or the Bhagavan does not seek happiness because he is Purnaha. He is complete Anandaha, therefore he doesn't have to go and seek moksha. Because Bhagavan is moksha Swarupa. So it's only the jiva who thinks that I am not the Bhagavan, I am not the Ishvara. That person thinks that I have to go and find something. So, but he does not know what he is searching for. See, the reality that he sees, the jiva does not know what he is searching for the entire life. The search is there, but he cannot quantify what is the search. See, if you want to find something, you have to know where to search. Correct? You have to know what to search, how to search, how long you should search, and what are the ingredients you need, what are the tools you need for searching. Correct? So all these things have to be defined. You should know, then only you can actually embark on a search. First of all, the search itself is not clear. First of all, there are many people in this universe who don't even know that there's a search for this. So when the particular vision is not even there, or the desire is not there, it is impossible for the person to even acquire the skills or look into the area at all. Correct? That's why when you say, if you look at the whole creation itself, the creation itself is made of several species. And the human being is one of the 840,000 species in the universe. So there are 840,000 unique species in this world. Unique means separate species. So human being is one of them. Now how do you get the count? The count is in the Vedas. So we don't worry about it. The number is 800, it doesn't matter. All you can say is that you are one among the many. See, you are definitely different from the tortoise, you are from the rabbit, from the buffalo, from the lion, from the spider. They are all different. And you know that there are also species like that who are living like that. Even within spider also there is different varieties of spiders are there. Correct? So in the same way, even within jiva also, one human being, there are varieties of jivas are there. Some less qualified jiva, some more qualified jivas, some people who don't know they have jiva also. People there. Correct? So and this particular human being or this species is the only one endowed with a capacity to know. Only species. There is no other species in this entirety of our 840,000 species. They don't have the capacity, they don't have the power to do anything. Example, A buffalo would like to wallow in the mud, right? Because a buffalo, what does it like to do? It like to go and, or a pig would like to go and wallow in the mud, because that is how it enjoys Ananda. It actually seeks happiness by wading in the water, or hippo goes into the water and keeps the body cool. It enjoys. But it does not know why it is doing that. It doesn't think, it only experiences that by going into the water, I feel comfortable, number one. I'm safe from the predators, and there is some happiness. But the happiness cannot be said by the hippo nor the buffalo, correct? But we can say, so if you take bath in hot water and if you take bath in the mud, you will know the difference, correct? You can easily see the difference because we are not a buffalo. Either we are a hippopotamus or a pig. So we know that taking bath in hot water, we like it, we enjoy it, it gives us sukham. If you take bath in the mud, which is not the animals, right? They do. We don't enjoy this. So there's always a setup. Setup means like a particular structure given, already ordained. So everybody has been given a particular structure. So the buffalo has got a structure. It has got an environment. It has got its own, features. You can say that, and it lives within that boundaries. Correct? It cannot go and acquire any new knowledge. It can only acquire what it's possible to do. Correct? It only sees it. The mother teaches the baby hippo, and then it learns. But the human being is different, because the human being now has got a different setup. This human being can understand. He has got a choice to change the direction of his life. Correct? He has got a choice. Every person, human being, has got a choice. We cannot say that we are choiceless, because choiceless in terms of moksha is there. But we always have a choice to select what we want to do. Correct? So that's why, and just as the other animals have got their own way of enjoying life, or they want to live the life, same way human being also has got a way of living the life by their karmas. So they come with their own karmas, prarabdha karmas. They come from many generations. They have been there before in some form or the other. And they need this to be finished. Correct? So the setter, the particular jiva, the particular body is given for us to do these karmas. See, with the physical body, what else you do? Like the physical body, you can only do action. You cannot do anything else. Action is what is required. If you don't have an action to do, then do you require a body? You don't need a body. Right? If somebody says, I don't have any action to do at all, but still I want a body, it will be a very, a stupid argument, right? Somebody says, I don't want to do an action at all. I'm actionless. Then he says, do you still want a body? I would like to keep it just for sake, just like in case emergency is required, I'll probably use it. And nobody wants to keep that. When you know that you don't have an action to do, you don't need that. Likewise, when you think that a particular object is not giving you happiness, would you keep that object with you? You wouldn't. Because you want to, let's say you have a DVD player at home and you watch so many movies there. Now you've got all Netflix, everything, streaming movies, everything you're watching there. And DVD player sitting there. You've got whole collection of DVDs in your house. How many of us actually go and put a DVD player, connect and see those? We don't, because we have outgrown that particular requirement. So what do? You don't need that. You sell it off, you dispose it off. You don't get any more anandam out of it. Correct? So the same way, any object which gives you satisfaction, it is called Anvaya Vyatireka. There's a philosophy, there's a method. It's called by which you segregate. That means anything which you enjoy has got two things. The object which is giving enjoyment and the enjoyment which you get it. So two things are there. The object which gives you enjoyment and the enjoyment, happiness you're getting. Now the happiness which you're getting is related to the object. So you will keep the object as long as that particular object gives you happiness. It can be your son, it can be your wife, it can be your husband, it can be anybody. Everybody is living for their own happiness. The moment you think that a particular object doesn't give you happiness, what will you do? You just keep to ignore, right? You just tolerate. It's okay. But as long as you get some support, emotional support, it's also happiness, right? Physical support, happiness. All of them, or mental support is happiness. Companion is happiness. So all of them are what? You are seeking something in somebody or in some object. So as long as the object is giving happiness, you will hold on to that. When the object is not giving happiness, you will probably change an object or do something else. Or move on to something else. So this is the reality of it. Same way, the object also, which is there, if it is a living object, says with Jadapurul, then it's okay, we don't know about it. The tree cannot come and tell you that I don't like you at all. You can tell the tree, I don't like it. You can chop the tree off. You can plant another tree. But a tree cannot disown you. You can disown the tree. So it's always the jiva, the human being, has got a choice over the other objects, correct? That's why we are superior. That's why we have this karma. Because we have this intellect, this power, willpower, and we decide that what is right I should do, thereby you also get results. The tree doesn't get the results of doing action. See, by giving a fruit, the tree, what result does it get? It doesn't get a result. It is just doing what is required to do. Right? It has flowers coming there. That's its nature. It doesn't. You enjoy the flowers. You enjoy the fruit. You enjoy the leaves. You enjoy the shade of the tree. All of them are giving you satisfaction, happiness, correct? So definitely you are superior to those objects. And that is why it's very important for a person to know where he is going. So this particular topic talks about the destination. So Jiva Yatra, when we say here, the Yatra means destination, which is there. So now having said this, let's look at the first mantra. Anyone wants to chant with me, or you're okay to listen? You're okay to listen. But if you want to chant, you can chant with me. It's an option. Okay. Nityananda Sukham Padam Suvimalam. Nityananda Sukham Padam Suvimalam. Praptum Samiha Yutaha. Praptum Samiha Yutaha. Nityananda Sukham Padam Suvimalam. Praptum Samiha Yutaha. Sarve Janma Brita Sadha Vyasaninaha. Sarve Janma Brita Sadha Vyasaninaha. Tatstana Sammarghane. Sarve Janma Brita Sadha Vyasaninaha. Tatstana Sammarghane. Evam Satyapi Sadhya Sadhana Yugham. Evam Satyapi Sadhya Sadhana Yugham. Samyang na jananti te. Samyang na jananti te. Evam Satyapi Sadhya Sadhana Yugham. Samyang na jananti te. Na prapta adunapi saukya padavim. Na prapta adunapi saukya padavim. Swabishta rupam yataha. Swabishta rupam yataha. Na prapta adunapi saukya padavim. So, first is Nitya Ananda Sukham. So three words are there. Nitya means always. So Nitya means always, that which is of the nature of continuous, ever present. Then Anandam. So this happiness is, or Ananda when it says happiness here, or limitlessness. So the right word is limitlessness. See, when you say limited, so anything, any happiness, other happiness is limited, correct? Any other object will give you limited happiness. Time-bound happiness, function-wise happiness. Let us say you are buy a car. You buy a car, you enjoy for the first 2 years, you feel very good. After 2 years, you get bored. Because you have seen everything, all the gadgets, you already know how to operate the gadgets. Everybody has already seen the car in the neighborhood. So you are no longer a great car owner. You're just like anybody else. Correct? So the happiness now is lost. So what do you do now? Either you can continue to live with an object and be happy with that. Or when you think that you're over that, you can change. Correct? So you give the old car and buy a new car, and then you get another happiness for some time. So is this Nitya Sukham or Anitya Sukham? The objects which are outside of you will always give you Anitya Sukham because it is always not consistent. It is not always constant. It keeps changing. Right? So whereas here, what we talk about is Nitya Ananda Sukham. Sukham means what? The happiness. So Sukham means you are comfortable and you want to be in the status. Right? And you do not want the Sukham to go at any cost at any point of time. Let us say that you have a successful family. Say, husband is doing very well, the wife is doing very well, children are doing very well, and they are called the eye of the apple. So the neighborhood, so one fine somebody comes. See, you're all gifted people. See, your family itself is Bhagavan's gift to you. See how talented you are. All of you are excelling in your own things. Right? Immediately after the person goes, what do you think? Oh my God. See, this person has come and praised us. So, so some drishti is there. Maybe his eyes, everything is good, but he has said something, which is, I never heard about it. So maybe we should be protective. We should make sure that, nothing harm comes to the family. So what do you do there? You go and put a player there. In Tamil we call Kandishti player. So, or, you have a Hanuman, which is a very Gora Hanuman. So when people come there, it will ward off the bad omen. So what it means that you want that happiness to be continuous. You do not want at any cost somebody even commenting upon you that is successful. Because you feel that by taking that, you will feel threatened that, oh my God, what happens if I lose the status of, if I lose the status tomorrow and I should not be in the situation. So you want to be protected. The Swamiji used to say in the lecture, sometimes when you like a person, you always say, I love you, right? Initially. So when you meet somebody for the first time, when you get married, you are in love with the person and you say, I love you. After many years, 20 years or so, then you say, I love you to go out of the life or to just leave. So I love you. I love means what? It's okay, over. I mean, now we are all old people. So whatever you want to do, you do. So what I'm trying to tell you is like, initially that love which was there turns into some sort of, adjustment. See, you're not always the same capacity, same, correct? You may look at the photograph and remember what it is. But the affection, the love which you have for many years will change. It'll probably increase also, it will decrease also, correct? Possible. But it will not be consistently same as what you were before. You cannot do the same thing what you did 25 years ago. You cannot behave also. Because people say, what, you're an old person now, why are you behaving like this? You should have something, some respect. So you cannot behave like that also. So that's what Anitya Sukham. So here, Nityananda Sukham. So the Sukham itself is classified as Nitya Sukham, Anitya Sukham. Okay, first classification. Then Sukham is derived from Sattvika Sukham, Rajasika Sukham, and Tamasika Sukham. See, Sukham itself is from Sattvika Sukham. See, Sattvika means what? When you are spiritually highly, motivated. So Sattvika means like right now we are Sattvika. Sattvic Guna means is a guna. It's a state of mind where one gets connected, one feels, feeling very good. One wants to study, one wants to explore. It's a mood of exploration process. Sattvika is like this. So right now we are all in Sattvika Guna mode. So there is some anandam there, some happiness is there. Oh wow, I'm learning something new. This is all about this one, Jiva Yatra. So there is actually Sattvika is there. After some time, Rajasikam will come because you have to go to, after the class is over, you have to go somewhere else, take the car and go somewhere else. So that happiness also will come. Maybe go to a restaurant after this, you can go and have dinner. That is a different Sukham, correct? So all of them are happiness which are derived by these qualities, the gunas, correct? Sattvika Guna, Rajasika Guna, and Tamasikam. Tamasikam are not doing anything also. Sometimes you just want to just relax. So all these three gunas come and go. They are not permanent. So the Sukham which is talks about here is Nityananda Sukham, which talks about this eternal happiness. That Sukham which is Nityam and of the nature of Anandaha, and that which is permanent. Correct. And the next word is called Padham. So Padham, when you say here, Sadhyam. So Sadhyam means the one to be achieved. Right? So that is to be achieved called Padham. So what is to be achieved? The moksha is to be achieved, correct? Then he gives adjective for that Ananda Sukha, Suvimalam. So malam means dirt, and Vimalam means pure. So malam means dirt, Vimalam means pure, and Suvimalam means purest. So this Anandam is of the nature of absolute purity. There is no blemish in the Anandam. See, our other Anandam has got blemishes. Correct. There will always be some qualified Anandam. So qualified Ananda. Right. So subject to, if you do this, you will get Ananda. If you don't do this, you won't get Ananda. But this one has got no blemish, means it's pure. So Suvimalam. Then Praptum Samiha Yutaha. So Praptum means for attaining that. So Praptum means for attaining or for achieving that objective. What is the objective? Suvimalam Padham. So for attaining that moksha, for attaining that eternal happiness, which is of the nature of Nitya Anandaha. So that status or that particular path one has to take is of the nature of Nitya Ananda Sukham and Praptum. So that is to be attained. Then Samiha Yutaha. Samiha Yutaha. So iha means desire. Iha means desire. Samiha means fervent desire or utmost desire. Samiha. So some iha. Some means what? Some iha. So the word should be some plus iha, samiha. So iha is equal to desire. Some means what? Very, very clear desire. So there's a desire for every human being or every person to be searching for Nitya Ananda Sukham. Okay. And which is of the nature of Suvimalam. We do not want any blemish in the Anandam. See, we do not want any break. See, when it is Suvimalam, it means what? We must not have any break in the Ananda. Let us say, for argument's sake, that I talk to you and you say, we all agree that I want happiness. But there is one person in the group, he's not here, or he will not, I'm just putting a suggestion. One person says that, look, I don't agree with the philosophy of happiness. I want to be sadness. I want to be a sad person. I want to experience sadness. And so the person is a Kudarkavadi. Kudarkavadi means what? A person who puts argument just for argument's sake. Because if you say that, I'm happy, you will say that you're not happy. Like somebody went to Swamiji once and said that, do you get angry? He said, I don't get angry. Then after sometimes say, do you really get angry? He said, I told you I don't get angry. So there's always a person there who will try to instigate you or to try to say more things or just to prove a point. So here also is a person called some Kudarkavadi is there or some other Tarkavadi is there. You can take that. So you say that I am sukking with Nityananda Sukham, Suvimalam, Praptum Samiha Yutaha. You say this. Okay. So everybody has a desire to seek Anandaha. But then one person gets up, says, I don't agree with this. I like to be unhappy. I would like to be other way around. I would like to be sad. Like Devdas, So what does Devdas do? He keeps drinking. He doesn't want to be happy. He seeks happiness in what? Drinking. Because that is what makes him happy. So when somebody tells him that don't drink, it is not good for you, he says, no, this is what gives me happiness. You don't know what happiness is. Correct? So what do? Okay. So if you think that in unhappiness also you find happiness, you seek happiness in unhappiness. So you bless it. What do you say? You say that if that is what happiness you're seeking for in unhappiness, so you'll be happy with that. Ultimately what? Even Dukkham also you are seeking happiness only. In Sukham also you are seeking happiness only. So what is the ultimate thing? Happiness is the fundamental thing. Sukham is what everybody is chasing for. Somebody is searching Sukham in Dukkham. Somebody is searching Sukham in Sukham. Correct? Ultimately only one thing is there. Correct? That's what. So the fundamental desire, the fundamental, lakshyam, goal for every human being is Nityananda Sukham. Padam, means that is to be attained. And Praptum Samiha Yutaha means every human being desires or everyone wants to attain this. And how? Samiha Yutaha. So Yutaha means what here? That which is endowed. So the human beings endowed with a desire already to look for happiness. So Yutaha. So Samiha Yutaha. So who are the people? Next time talks about Sarve Janma Britaha. So Sarve means what? All. Sarve means anyone who has taken birth. Janma Britaha. So Janma means anyone who has taken birth and who is classified as a human being. And what do? Sadha, always. Sadha. Vyasaninaha. So Vyasanina means they constantly are making effort to search for the happiness. So systematically, constantly, always searching for that happiness. They are making effort. So Shastram does not say that you are not making effort. Shastram says that yes, you are making effort. But you are making effort to what? To find happiness which is not what you're seeking for. You are searching for the wrong place. It tells later on. Okay, so you don't have to say now. But says what? Sarve janma britaha. That means everyone who is born sada vyasaninaha. So always the person is of the nature of trying. See, the people who are there are good people. They are not bad people. They are all trying. Everybody is searching happiness. See, some people want to go to temple, they are searching happiness there. Some people want to go to movie, they are searching happiness there. Correct? Some people want to go and enjoy a restaurant, there is happiness there. So everybody is making effort. Traveling, going something, doing something, reading something, writing something. Anything what you do, you are seeking happiness. Is it right? If you don't seek happiness, why would you do an action? If you say that I don't enjoy doing this, then would you do the action? You would not. So the default answer is what? Every human being is doing action. And every human being is what? Sada vyasaninaha. Means they are always busy in searching for this action. They are searching for happiness by doing action. They are making efforts. So vyasaninaha means effort. So they are making effort. Then you must take the next line. So we'll come to the other one later on. Tasthana sammargane will come later. So now, evam satya api. Evam satya api means what? So despite the desire being there, samiha yutaha, vyasaninaha, so evam satya did not, even having all the desire, that person, sadhya sadhana yugam. So see the word sadhya sadhana yugam. See, sadhya means what? That is to be achieved. Sadhyam. Correct? Or the destination or the ultimate goal. Sadhyam. That which is to be achieved is called sadhyam. Sadhyam is what? One of the purushastra nishchayaha. So for sadhyam can differ for different people. For somebody, sadhyam would be, artha. For somebody could be, kama, dharma, moksha. There are different things are there, correct? So somebody will be interested in only artha. That is their happiness. So it's called sadhyam. So for particular desire, for particular destination, you will be searching for the ingredients or the implements required to make that happiness, correct? Say if you want to be wealthy, you want to have rich, what do? You find ways to become rich, right? So your search will be where? Your search will be in the space of becoming rich, like share market, buying and selling properties, or giving loan to somebody at interest rates, those kind of things, or venture capital, putting in a business, loan shark. All these are ways of making money. So your interest or your sadhanam will be in those areas, correct? So all of them say sarve janma britaha. When you say sarve janma britaha sadhya sadhanas yugam evam satyapi. So even though all of them are busy they are all in their own areas. Somebody is searching for happiness in security. Somebody is searching for happiness in dharma. That I want to do all dharma karyam, rituals, etc. Building wells, helping the poor people. There are priests in India who are not able to get, so they are going and donating money. All those things they are doing. Some people get happiness in that, right? And they are making effort. Correct. Sada vyasaninaha means they are not making it. They are not stopping. They are always making effort. Consistently, they are making effort. Right. So sadhana yugam. Yugam means what? Pair. See, yugam means called a pair. What is a pair? Sadhana sadhya yugam. So sadhanam means the method by which you acquire, and sadhya means that which is to be achieved. So this is like a pair. So like raga dvesha is a pair. Like dvandvaha. Same here also. Sadhana yugam. Evam satyapi sada vyasaninaha hu sarva janma brit. So all the people who are born, they are always making effort consistently, regularly, systematically, always for searching for Nityananda Sukham Suvimalam Praptum Samiha Yutaha. So you got the idea now? Then, so evam sati api means despite having this knowledge, despite having all this effort being done there, te samyak na jananti. See the word there? Samyak na jananti te. So te means what? Those people. So those people in this, what are those people? Those people who are making effort. Those people sarve janna britaha, and this sada vyasaninaha praptum samiha yutaha. Those people who are under the category, those people te samyak na jananti te. So they do not know very clearly what they are searching for. Samyak na jananti te. This is not what I am saying. The text says that the people who are searching for, they are searching for the wrong place, searching for something they do not know what they are searching for. See, it is like somebody, saying, you go to the bus stop and you get lost, you don't know. So you see somebody, a shopkeeper there. So you go and ask him, does this bus go to Coimbatore? Provided you know it goes to Coimbatore, then you can tell, correct? If you know the destination, you can tell. But if you tell, where does this bus go, if you ask him, what does the shopkeeper ask you? Where do you want to go? Correct, you ask your question, right? Where do you want to go? I will go where the bus takes, if you sell. Then you get on any bus. It doesn't matter which bus you get on, because any bus will take you anywhere. But if you specifically say that I want to go to Coimbatore, this particular, then God will say, you get on to that bus, you get out to the station, that bus stop, take another bus, and you reach the destination. So the Veda is actually there. The shopkeeper is what is like a Veda there. The Shastram is there. You're going and asking Shastram that I want to go. So Shastram, Shruti asks, okay, so what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I don't know. I don't know what do I want to do. So what the Shastram says, so if you don't know what you should do, then you do this. So you just go, anybody, or keep doing what you're doing. Whereas if you ask the Shastram, or if the Shastram is a guru, so you go and ask the guru that, I want to gain jnanam, I want to discover my own true nature, then he will tell, okay, yes, I will teach you this. But if you go and ask him something else, like about astrology or stars, what he will say? You go and ask somebody else about astrology, etc. Because there are people who know that. Then he'll ask you, do you really want to know that, or you want to go something else? I don't know. I myself don't know. I think I'm confused. I don't know what I should do. That's why it says here, samyak na janantite. So samyak means what? Very clearly, they don't know what they're searching for. Samyak means very clearly. Thoroughly, they don't know what they're searching for. So So, evam sati api sadhya sadhana yugam samyak na jananti te. And what are they now? What is not clear to them? Then you go to the second line. See, tat sthana sammargane. So that means that sthanam, means that place, sammargaha. So they do not know the path. So I told you the bus stop example, same thing. So those people don't know where to go, what road to take, how to travel. So it is like, when you go to say if you want to go travel by air, you know where to go, right? But what do you need? You need a travel agent, right? You need to talk to a travel agent. You need to have at least, money to buy the ticket, and you must have that plane which is there also has to be there to go. So 3 things are required. You should know what they're going for, number 1. You should also have a travel agent who help you get there, to get a ticket. Then you should also be able to get onto the plane, which is also not dependent. You don't know. So then only you can get to destination. But if the first itself you do not know, say I don't know where I should go, then the travel agent can't help you. Nobody can help you. That's what it says here. Samyak na jananti te. Te means those people. So those people, it doesn't mean everybody. Te sarva janna britaha. Those people who are all born, who have got no idea about where they are going, those people are searching for Nityananda Sukham Padam Savimalam Praptum Samihayutaha Sada Vyasinaha Tatsana Sammarghane Samyakna Jananti Te. You got it? You able to follow, right? So what it says is that the destination has to be known first. That I want to go to the Lakshya. Then you have to find out how to go. So what do? You have to go to the Guru, teacher. And Shastram says that in your lifetime when you're studying, you must have only one Guru or multiple Gurus. You cannot have part-time Gurus. Oh, I will go to this Guru for today. Then I will have another Guru for something else. No. Shastram says there should be only one margaha, one road. So it is like, you go to some place and say, I got 5 different ways to go. I will go this way today. I will go that way today. But in case of knowledge, you have to have only one teacher. It is like, when you have school, when you go to school, right? You have one teacher for geography, right? One geography. And then when you go to the college, you have a professor. So your teacher now is left and professor becomes a guru. You cannot have a professor and teacher at the same time because 2 roles are different. So once you finish with the particular guru, but then you take next guru if you can take it. But you must not have multiple gurus in your lifestyle saying that I will go to 10 different gurus and 10 different things I learn. I will try to compare what this guru is saying with that guru is saying. That is not what is said. That is called here Tat Sthana Sammargane Samyakna Jananti Te. Those people do not know where they're going, what direction they're taking, because they themselves don't know what they're searching for. So if you don't know what you're searching for, who can help you? Correct? Then, na prapta adunapi. So, na prapta means what? Till now, they have not got and they are not going to get it also immediately. So, na prapta means what? Praptu means achieve, attain. And na prapta means they are searching for things, they are making effort, doing every day and doing all this work. See, there is one example given. One guy was digging, he was digging some old mine, some old dirt in his house. And he found something gold or something in his backyard. So he kept digging his backyard. Later on, he bought another backyard next door. He thought that maybe the gold would have traveled some other place. He dug that place also. So you're digging the whole day. And then he was making all the making riches, etc. But then when finally he became very old, he had all the wealth with him and he couldn't enjoy anything because all the wealth was of no use to him. Like in the Bhajagovindam, I think I'll refer to that Bhajagovindam. There's a verse. Let's see what verse is there. In that verse actually talks about, when you become old, all your wealth is of no use to you because all the people who are attracted to you for wealth, they are no longer there for you anymore. Because they all left you already because the wealth is not there, you are of no use to them, you are of no happiness, they are not going to be any happiness. What do? They tolerate you. And eventually what they say, luckily this person let it go, and if it goes, then the money will come, I'll become happy. At the moment, this person is holding on to the money and he's not giving anything to me, so he cannot give me more happiness. So what do? You ignore the person, you just do what you want to do there. Right? But, so same way, very important also, see, in Bhajagovindam it says, Yavat Vitto Parjana Shaktaha. See, Yavat Vitto Parjana Shaktaha Tavan Nija Parivaru Raktaha. Paschat Jivati Jarjara Dehe Vartam Ko Apina Prichati Gehe. So you already seen this verse. So you have to recollect. So that's why all these are connected. So happiness is always limited and searching. That's what it says here. Then na prapta aduna api. So aduna api means what? Till now. So aduna api means till now they are searching for it. They are searching for it, but they are not yet found that happiness which they are searching for it because they don't know what really is happiness is. So happiness they are looking at is something like an object. Like it has to be attained. Correct? So when I say what is happiness, what do you say? I have to find what happiness is. Correct? This is what everybody says. I want to find happiness, what it is. So what do? You go and find happiness. So you keep searching for happiness. So you search for happiness in objects, in friends, in relatives, in son, wife, daughter. Everybody else is happiness. You seek happiness in everybody else. But you understand that you do not seek happiness in those people because those people are also seeking happiness themselves. Those people are also seeking happiness. So how can somebody who's a seeker can give you happiness? Somebody who's not a seeker only can give you happiness, right? Somebody who's a complete person who's no longer interested in seeking happiness is the only person who will give you happiness. But say, if other person also saying, see, I am also searching for this, sir. So go and talk to the person. Are you searching for happiness? Yes, I am searching for happiness. So, okay, so we two are good. You find company in them and both are searching together. So, how can you find happiness? You cannot. Because happiness is not to be found. It is your own sarupa. You are happiness personified. You are happiness. You do not need to go anywhere else in happiness. If you are just by yourself, you are in total control of yourself. The moment you rely on somebody for happiness, then happiness becomes secondary. You depend on happiness, correct? So what it says here is, na prapta aduna api saukya padavim. Saukya padavim means what? That particular status they are looking for. So they are looking for a status called Saukya Padavi. Padavi means what? A status. And Saukya means what? Happiness. Oh, I think I have come to a status where, I have to maintain the status. Correct. So first of all, you go and search and you get a status. Then what do? You maintain status quo. You look for quo, right? Then you maintain status quo. First you get status, then you maintain status quo. So Saukya Padavi, what? You do not want to come down. You want to be at the same level. See, somebody tells you that, oh, you have become very poor now, your happiness is not there, you want to maintain this level of standard. Correct. So Saukya Padavim Swabhishta Rupam Yataha. So Swa Abhishtaha Rupam Yataha. That is, Swabhishta Rupa means what? That particular form which is there, that particular form, Swabhishta Rupam. Swabhishta Rupa means what? That which is favorite to you, that which you like. And that particular form you are searching for, which is happiness. So happiness is searching for like a form, like something like an object. So, but what Shastram says, happiness is equal to Nityananda Sukham. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. I mean, happiness is actually the nature of Satyam, truth, Anantam, limitless, and Brahma. So Brahma means what? That which is Brahman, which is consciousness. So all these three are of the nature of happiness. But happiness is something here sought by Sarve Janna Britaha. So they are not prapta adunapi. So they never attain, or they will never be able to attain because they are searching in the wrong place. Or they don't know what they are searching for. So this is the meaning of the first mantra. Nityananda Sukham Padam Suvimalam Praptum Samiha Yutaha Sarve Janna Brita Sadha Vyasaninaha Tatstana Sammarghani Evam Satyapi Sadhya Sadhana Yugham Samyangna Jananti Te Na Prapta Adunapi Saukya Padavi Swabhishta Rupam Yataha. Is that clear? Kushalji, is it clear? Okay. Any questions from anyone in today's class? Okay. Radhaji, no questions? All okay?
All okay, sir. Fine.
Srikanji, anyone from New Zealand? Any questions? Okay. So for next class, we'll go to verse number 2. And the next class, it talks about the Upanishad and how one has to attain this. So it goes step by step. So there are 9 verses are there. And in the 9 verses, he tells us what you should do, how you should get, and how you should be happy. The message of the whole thing is how you should be happy just by being yourself. Right? That is the essence. And that's why it is a small, very small topic. It is a powerhouse. It actually tells you that you are all searching for wrong place. All of us. I'm saying it. Sarve Janna Britaha. It doesn't say that you. All the people who are born, they are searching in wrong place. And they are all making efforts. Sarve Vyasaninaha. So they are making efforts, they are consistently making efforts, but they are not able to get it because they will not be able to get na prapta. So they won't be able to get it because it is not to be attained. Happiness is not to be attained, but you are searching for attaining happiness. You will never be able to find happiness. Because happiness becomes an object of knowledge. Then the object of knowledge will be always external to you. Right? So anything which is external to you is always going to go away from you. Anything. It can be your own liking for your own body also. Your own knowledge also is a problem. I like my knowledge very well. One day that also will go. So all these are dependencies. See, anything which you depend, anything becomes a support for you, which gives you anandaha, has to be dropped or be removed. Ultimately. So that none of these things bind you, you are a free person. Whether you study, you don't study, whether right now to study, I'm not saying that you must not. At a certain level of studying is over, when you have achieved that level of understanding, then it doesn't really bother you whether you study today or tomorrow or after 1 week, 1 month, or it doesn't matter, because you already know the topics, you already know these things going in your mind already. Right? So it becomes routine for you. So at that time, you don't really worry about all these things. But till such time, one has to make effort. So, but effort should be the right method, right direction, and the right teacher, very important. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste. Shubhratri to all of you.
Thank you, Ji.